Back out here on a cool but nice morning. Got our 2 missing joist hangers going in, and I'm measuring up for the rips that we need there. Going to get those cut, and we'll get the floor finished. Next step in the structure is bolting the posts to the double 2x10, and Dave has made the choice to use a hand ratchet. You can get a little arm exercise in the morning. It's good to wake you up. Alright, making a little puzzle here with the custom cut, I suppose, something like that. So, I hope that fits for the work that went into it. Now that I got that trimmed to fit through the door casing, door jamb, need a little spacer here, so got a 5/4 deck board, and I had to trim it. It is an inch down at this end and about a 1/2 inch down at the right side. So power planer for the win. Look at all that shavings. This is one of those tools you don't realize you need until you have it, and then it's so handy. So we'll just attach this to the joists that are sticking out there and stick that in place. That was a pretty good cut. Ended up having to make just a slight trim with the oscillating tool. You can kind of see right there. Missed by like a 32nd of an inch. So we got just 1.5 sheets at about 19.5. I'll re-verify along the length. Well, I cut this piece to size over the edge thinking it would just fall off, but apparently I set the saw so close that it didn't actually go through, just left a tiny little hinge there. So that's neat. There's a slightly better view. So I suspect, let's take that off. Is it close enough that I can... Yep! That's what I was expecting to happen when I cut it. Got our adhesive down. Next piece ready to go. And hopefully that's pretty close. We'll just use the flat part to get a little leverage in. Yep. Yep. I'll pull this end out a little. Alright. Let's... That's tight enough. Alright. Nail that off, and a little piece here. With the floor done, time to move to the exterior walls, and you can probably pick it up. I snapped a line 3.5 inches. So that's our wall, since we're using 2x4s. Got the laser on it to get at least a sense of what's going on up here. And you may be able to, yeah, it looks like you can see it. That's the inside. So I don't know what has happened with this over the years, but you can see the previous wall is out from that, so I think it leaned out, but the roof joists, which are the floor joists inside for the third floor, don't reach that far. They're like on that line. And we've been kind of guessing where stuff is supposed to go the whole time. And you can see that, hopefully you can still see it extends that same all the way out. So I'm not exactly sure how to do that yet. Do we extend the existing, I guess those are 2x10s, out just a little bit? Do we run the wall past it up to, because it's kind of hard to see, it's kind of dark up there. The roof rafters do extend further out, and I think those are not the original roof rafters, because there are also rafters on a slope that don't carry through to the inside, maybe from the original building back here, because we know this back part is the older portion. So that's kind of the joys of some of these buildings. You don't know exactly how it's going back together. We'll make it work one way or another. And like we've talked about in previous videos, these joists run all the way through. So it's cantilevering out over this brick wall. So whatever we do here doesn't actually have to support the roof, but it will certainly help. Maybe the most important part is it ties it all together for some better uplift resistance. That's kind of important in a place that gets severe windstorms and tornadoes occasionally. It's actually been 6 months since the May 16th EF3 tornado that damaged or destroyed 5,000 buildings in St. Louis, and still a ton of work to do on that. But I'm gonna get this figured out, I guess, now that we know where it is. And while I'm noodling over this, the rest of the crew is setting up scaffolding further out here, because we're gonna need to be able to get up to work on the sheathing, because to build this, I don't think we can really assemble almost 10-foot tall walls on like 5.5 foot wide porch. So we are going to piece this together. We're also going to cut that tree down. We're gonna put the plates, piece it together, and then sheath it from the outside. Not my preferred way, but it's going to work just fine. But we need some excess, so that will take care of that. I think I found the solution to the problem, and it's an odd one, but it's going to work. Since the 2x4 is lining up with the end, what if we do the top plate as a 2x8? That connects to the ceiling joists, and then we put a 2x4 top plate below that and just run down. That should work. That ties everything together. Then we can just strap the rest of the ceiling here with 2x4s for drywall purposes. That should solve the problem, I think. Because the other option is extending the wall past up into stuff that has an angle on it, doesn't really tie together well. I'll think about it just a little more, because we got to pull this stuff off before we do any of that. Alright, getting the ceiling out of the way, and that made a mess.
Yeah, it rained down on us.
Yeah, you think you got rained on? I am just coated in nasty stuff, but they're making their way up. Had to go pick up some more of the 5-footers. Didn't bring enough of that, but it's only a block away. You guys, yeah, you got that in the wrong spot. It's all in the. It's I was gonna cut, but this is kind of entertaining.
What were we saying about the Three Stooges?
No, Two Stooges. That's what Dave was doing with the pipe earlier in the backyard, moving it around. It was like the Three Stooges plumbing episode. There we go.
Yeah.
Whoa, well, that came off all right. One more board to get down. One more. Ooh, this one may come easier. Yep. Glad we protected the power line. Got the two stooges down there using the wrong size braces and wondering why the boards are coming up short. But we got that planked out. And as you saw, everything from up here is down. We're gonna end up with this top part kind of stepping out as a fascia almost. A little different than what I thought it was going to be. The plans didn't quite match reality, but we didn't quite know that either. That's, again, the joy of old buildings. So, getting this cleaned up so I can get this end wall maybe built, and can't quite get this piece down. It's got some flashing there, so that is part of the point of building up the scaffolding here, so we can get up high enough and deal with whatever the heck's up there. Some mess. I can actually maybe get a little better view of the rafters that are actually carrying the load, and what was probably the original rafters, I would guess. And they raised the roof higher when they put on the front to match it. Hard to know for sure, but I don't see any reason why they would have that other board on an angle in there. Otherwise, it's not going to really hold much, and it doesn't need to. So, yeah, bit of archaeology. Just cut some studs for the first wall section. Get that assembled up there. And we need to do a little bit of leveling on this scaffold here because it's leaning to the right from our perspective, just a touch. And we got to put at least one more section on there, so I'd rather get it right now before I'm up there and it's feeling a little tippy. Nobody likes that. We're also securing the door to the third floor since this is now readily accessible. Hopefully nobody's going to take the opportunity, but better safe than sorry. We can actually assemble this piece up here because it's not quite as long as the porch is wide, so just getting them crowned so they crown out.
They're all the same.
Ultimately, just make sure they're all the same way so you don't have a wavy wall, but we hand selected. No, Wayne's not here.
I said wavy.
Oh, wavy. We hand selected these so they're all in pretty good shape, but heck, even doing that, by the time you get them, it's just a floor. By the time you get them to the site, sometimes they've moved. Lumber is what it is. So don't back off either. That may be what he just said. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. So just 5 studs, nice and easy. 64 1/8 inches long. Did you break it? What'd you do? Yeah, it'll still show 1 bar, but not put out enough. Wouldn't have that if we were using pneumatic nailers.
Here. Use this one. Oh, thanks.
You sure that's... Did you take that off the blower?
No.
Okay, good, because that battery was dead also. Alright, we're back in business. all assembled here, so getting the double top plate on to the extent that it matters. This isn't load bearing in any way, but with our wonky 2x8, it'll actually overhang that way. Normally this wall would overlap the other direction, but all's well that ends well. And then because there's still stuff on the ceiling, we're actually going to raise that end first instead of tipping it from down here. So bunch of nails. Yeah. So the measurement says it should fit. I guess we'll find out.
Well, we gotta go up.
You gotta go up, and then you'll have to come through.
Then you have to either side or something. That's not hard.
But there just showed exactly why we couldn't go the other normal way. Slightly awkward.
Well, we're hitting the ceiling. Ceiling's finding
Yeah, that looks like it fits. Now the real question is, how plumb is it matching the bottom and the top, since we built this thing basically on vibes?
blue line, you want it? In the 2x4.
As
And we're on the edge. Yeah, we tack the bottom.
let's got the tree. Got the tree in the way. The top's gonna have to hit out.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not anywhere close to where it needs to be. You guys are leaning way in. Should have looked at that before you nailed the bottom. You'll get it. You'll get it. Hey, use a hammer. Hammer hands.
Hit the second one. Yeah, that one.
You may need the ladder over there too, because you're probably going to need to hit the top plate to get it to actually go. You guys really need to get it under there because it's shaking. It's just shaking that whole board up there instead of sliding under.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't hurt. That's all we got.
That's why you don't jump the gun and nail the bottom.
Or what?
That's why you don't jump the gun and nail the bottom until you know it's actually in. You probably need to go from the other side to do that. From the inside. And then it'll slide along the other direction also.
What do you mean? Turn your bar the other way around. Upside down, I meant.
Yeah. You may have it too far out also. This is riveting content, guys. I really want to just do this for you, but you gotta learn. You gotta learn somehow.
Taking the nails out.
That seems like a decent plan.
Yeah, it would have been a lot easier to get the top in first and then hammer the bottom out.
On down.
Let's try again. Yeah, You're looking a little better this time. You're actually too far out.
TJ's.
Yeah.
There. How about that?
Yeah, well, now you're too far in, TJ. Because,
In, out, in.
yeah, just get the bottom. You'll be able to adjust the top now because it is.
Now we go to the building on the line. Yeah, we gotta tap it to the building. Sure you don't want to use hammer hands? No. And watch this tree branch hit me. You're good.
You're not all the way out to the alley. Hit this down here one more time. Yep.
All right.
Alright, now you can nail it down. And we can adjust that as needed up there now. We'll get it plumb, see what that looks like. If it needs to be a touch out of plumb, so be it. Back out the next morning, so we had round of thunderstorms middle of the night and then early this morning, and it was a ton of lightning, not really much actual rain, so thankfully it didn't get muddy out here. But since it was still kind of drippy first thing, we ran and got our sheathing and 2x8s that we need so we can get back up there and start on the next wall section. Snapped a new line here, 7 1/8 inches out, because that's the actual dimension of the lumber we have here for the 2x8. And then just use the laser to transfer up to the ceiling. So that gives us, presumably, a good plumb line. And that's the story here. We'll just put it into where we set back. You know, the sun sort of came out. Now it's hard to see. We set that second top plate back there to get our overlap. Grab some ladders and see how it works. For this next stretch, these ceiling joists were sagging because the end here isn't continuous over the stairway like these are, cantilevered. So over time, gravity did its thing. So we got the last 3 jacked up as far as we could. We were pushing up a little on the roof, so that's where we stopped. It just kind of is what it is that they'll be a little lower. And I got the laser back out, transferred our line up again. So that's gonna be almost 8 feet, but need to measure it and see what we need to trim on the next 2x8. We're all going together pretty quick here, so each stud, well, not each stud's a little different. We've had a few that are the same. It's growing from the left to the right as we're looking at it. So that's all the regular studs and king studs. Now we need to piece in the jack studs, and layout actually got thrown off a little bit, so just confirming with the level on each. And then 4 toenails in each stud, as per code. Well, now you may not be plumb anymore.
No, we're still good.
Okay. So, 1 window here that we need to header, 2 windows down there to header,
Don't put another window.
and they're all
Get it back first.
3 feet by 6 feet windows. So, pretty easy. Standard stuff here. Just beat it. Well, workday interrupted by a building fire. Not sure the cause, but this was occupied. It's unfortunately going pretty extensively already. This is 1 block due north of the job site. Need to get that hook and ladder up a little closer. They're probably going to pull on the side street and shoot over. Alright, well, it's clearly on the second floor. They were walking in the first floor with no problem and no smoke. Oh, backing in. Stay out of the collapse zone. I don't know what the heck's in there popping. Bullets in there? That Marx's bullet warehouse in there? Yeah. It's clearly on the second floor. They walked in the first floor with no smoke. Yeah. Mark's storing his bullets in there?
Somebody, because we could hear them from the backside.
Yeah.
They were coming out the back really bad.
And it's clearly only on the second floor. The firefighters walked right in the first floor with no smoke.
Yeah. As soon as we heard it, we thought it was animal.
Well, the problem with the brick buildings is, you know, just like it can't be used to localizers to get the fire going, that's what the brick buildings do. They're chimneys. Yeah, they're just big chimneys.
Close the alley gate.
Good.
Air conditioner's not falling.
Because that was the thing back in the day. People would set buildings on fire. Everybody would run out to look at them, and they would rob people's houses because they would go out without locking their doors. Now that booster line ain't gonna do much.
No. See, that may have been a smoke detector earlier.
Maybe we should have done an investigating behind.
You know, tough to say.
Yeah. Because it sounded like it was coming from the back direction.
But it was echoey and
Hard to say.
like, did they even have working smoke detectors in there?
I don't know. They're bringing a lot more.
It's first alarm. All they're gonna do is get the hook and ladder up and just
That's what
drown it.
Right.
Surround and drown. I was wrong. That booster is actually knocking some stuff down. It's already got the smoke color turned.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not shooting us.
Yeah.
But the back half is getting good too.
Yeah, well, it connects with that whole warehouse thing back
Yep.
there. That's why this whole row of buildings missing. Fire.
Cool, every once in a while.
What? Oh, yeah. I'm amazed that bar didn't completely burn down when that fire was going. Well, Yeah.
There's too much promotion going on there all the time. And at least they had printers that time. They made sure they had printers.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, she says I see it on the news. I mean, I don't know how she said well, they won't be doing her still in copper.
Yeah.
I don't say the car's on fire in the back.
Back's going really good.
And that roof
Yeah, smoke's getting darker again.
Yep, the back is going really good though.
yeah, it was cooking off all that hammer.
Well, it's
Well, and they
it's all
got,
vinyl back there.
I don't know what they actually got back in there, but they've always had all sorts of junk and
Hard telling what they got inside that garage.
yeah.
In the back there. All right, man. See you, brother.
Yep, see ya.
That changes something.
Yeah, that's shaded the blip.
Two ladders on it'll make quick work. As long as they can get through the roof. Well, it's through the roof in the back.
Roof in the back.
Yeah,
It's self-venting. Yeah, city firefighters here rarely go on the roof. It's an aggressive attack fire department, but not putting people on the roof aggressive. Oh yeah, it's shooting through now. It's really going in the back now. Yeah. That garage wraps around the building.
Actually good. Pretty sure if you try to walk around that one, you need to go away.
About 15 minutes and it's all knocked down. They'll drown it out for a while, but that's most of it. Still a lot of smoke. There's clearly stuff burning in there, but definitely mostly knocked down. A lot of fire trucks out and at least a couple of reserve trucks out. Guess they're doing some maintenance right now. Back from the fire that's just out of view, but you may be able to still hear the water. And time to put the headers that we were building when we smelled the smoke wafting over. It smelled like a forge. We'll check back in. Alright, nail the rest of it.